Going on to you Capricorns out there. So there's a link in the comment section below called a Linktree link. Click on it. It will redirect you to a website which has all the ways to financially support the channel, so I can most definitely keep the show going. Look, you have the Queen of Wands, the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Cups. So let me go ahead, sit back for a few seconds and see what's going on with you Capricorns, because whenever it is that I draw these cards, I don't know what I'm going to say. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so for you Capricorns, right? The Queen of Wands, the Three of Wands. Wow, okay. The Queen of Wands, Three of Wands, and the Eight of Cups is about you Capricorns not changing up for anybody. A lot of you Capricorns very much so understand that who you are. You understand yourselves way better than you used to 3 years ago in 2021. And that you Capricorns, I just did Aquarius, but you Capricorns definitely understand your value. And how it is that you began to understand your value is from trials and tribulations. You know, a lot of times other people, just in a general sense, only want to have good things come into their life, right? And so many people talk about having value, but people only understand their own value when they go through the ups and downs, when they go through the good times and the bad times. You need one and the other. There's no exception. You can't do it without the other. Why? Because through trials and tribulations, you understand that when you up underneath the pressure, you are who you think you are. And the best way for you to be able to understand if you are who you think you are is through trials and tribulations. So the situation for you Capricorns is that you do know who you are. And you Capricorns know good and well that you're not going to allow anyone to disrespect you and come into your life and ruin your life and talk bad about you and talk about how you're not worth anything. You Capricorns know good and well that what it is that you're looking for is I was doing exercises. That's why I'm breathing kind of hard. But you Capricorns, you know good and well that what it is that you're looking for is a very healthy lifestyle with a significant other that understands, what the assignment is. To get with someone that you can love long term and build with them, instead of having to sabotage the person that you happen to be in a relationship with. So now the Eight of Cups represents, and if a person is too much for you in the sense that they require you Capricorns to quote unquote handle them, then they're not the correct person for you. And you Capricorns are not going to try to force it. You're not going to try to force this relationship by trying to call them and pressure them into getting with you. And you Capricorns know good and well that that's not really it. So the Empress now and the High Priestess is all about how a lot of you Capricorns understand that, because ultimately, let me go back for a second, it's addition by subtraction. And what I mean by that is getting rid of all the people in your life that don't bring anything to the table, that are parasites, that don't bring anything to the table, don't contribute anything, only want to take. But at the same time, your life is becoming better, because in order for you to get what it is that you want, you have to walk away from dysfunctional people, situations, and ideas. You have to be able to walk away from those things. The Empress and the High Priestess now is about you Capricorns and understanding that your life is better off, and that you Capricorns do understand that your life is better off without a situation or a certain particular person that's going to get in your way and try to ruin your life and make your life hell, make it worse for you. A lot of you Capricorns don't need that. Your lives are already hard enough. Why make it even more hard, or that much more hard, from just by getting to know somebody, which should be a lot easier than what it is that you're hearing on the internet. So now the Empress and the High Priestess is, so if they come in with all of that rah-rah, I just see that a lot of you Capricorns will leave them alone. As far as you dating some people, a lot of you Capricorns are open to date and you are talking to people. But what I'm seeing here is that a lot of you Capricorns are not necessarily meeting people that are really decent choices. I'm seeing that the majority of what it is that you happen to come across are really people who are fronting. They're trying to act like they're decent choices. They're trying to act like they're a very good choice, but in actuality, they're really not. And that you Capricorns know that if you get with them, the only thing that you're going to get is a headache and regrets. So I just see a lot of you Capricorns doing this. You're more so on some Four of Pentacles type stuff where you Capricorns are more so taking care of yourselves, right? Yourself is the center of your attention. Not saying that you are self-absorbed or you are self-centered. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm saying is that you realize that you have to take care of you at the end of the day, and that if you Capricorns don't take care of yourselves, obviously no one is going to take care of you for you. You are adults, so therefore, even from a logical end, you Capricorns understand that you have to take care of yourselves. And I'm not saying that you wasn't, but I am saying that you weren't taking care of yourselves up to the level that you Capricorns should have been, because you were still allowing people to misuse you and use you and treat you like trash. And then the thing is that the Six of Swords and the Seven of Swords now represents. So I just see there's a lot less need to force relationships. There's a lot less of a need to put the pressure on your own selves to find someone, right? Like I said, going back to the Eight of Cups, you have more of an ability to walk away and not just putting the pressure on yourselves. Like, you got to find somebody. You have to. Maybe you're being a little bit too picky. Maybe you should just pick something. A lot of you Capricorns are like, no, if the people that you are meeting, if you're legitimately meeting people and you're searching high and low, we're not talking about a particular type. A person has to have a certain amount of prettiness to them. If you're willing to go down a couple of levels or notches, or be willing to compromise in one area, right, in looks or in finances, as long as the person is legitimately working hard and they're proud of the work that they do, and they are trying to climb the pyramid and become more financially successful in their own way, regardless of whether or not they aspire to be rich, right, or not. A lot of you, as long as you Capricorns have that level of openness, then it really is the other people that you are meeting. Because at the end of the day, truth be told, I wouldn't really suggest you discuss this with a lot of other people, in the sense that, because when you try to, or you may have tried to, some of you Capricorns may have tried to, and it didn't necessarily go so well, because all it is that they tried to do was delude you and try to make it seem like you're the one who's wrong, you're the one who's going crazy, you Capricorns are too picky. And it's like, no, that's not what it is. And this is what I'm talking about, the deluding, right? You realize that you can't trust their counsel, because they're going to look at you in the eyes, bold face, and lie to you. So a lot of you Capricorns realize that you can't do that. Some of the things that you're cutting off are even some of your friends too, because you realize that they're not friends. Because if they really had your best interest in mind, let me show it to you again, they would not advise you to get with indecent people that will be disrespectful to you. They will encourage you, Capricorns, to actually seek people that are open to a relationship, open to being with you, open to, actually doing something great, building something with you. and not just treating you or talking to you anyway, because they may have finances, or they have some form of advantage in some particular area that you Capricorns may not, right? So the Queen of Cups and the Ace of Cups now is about you Capricorns having to understand that the next best thing for you to do is that you are doing is not only are you taking care of yourselves, right? Right? And you're coming out of the relations, or I should say the interactions with others, better off with less wear and tear, right? A lot less emotional damage, but you're actually learning how to deal with your own baggage yourself, and you are figuring out within yourselves what's wrong with you, to where you're in love with you. You're looking after your own selves. You've got your own back. So the other person who has your back is a bonus. So let's clarify the Ace of Cups. The Emperor, Eight of Wands, Queen of Wands, the Sun card, Queen of Pentacles. So once again, the Emperor and the Eight of Wands. The Emperor represents you Capricorns being much more stationary, solidified, confident in what it is that you have been able to achieve, everything that you've done on your own, right? You should give yourself a pat on the back. Then you have the Eight of Wands here. And then the Eight of Wands is about, and just sit back and get to know others and see who legitimately wants to be with you, because they're not going to try to make it such a difficult thing for them to actually be caught, you know, because both sides should be chasing up on after each other. But at some point, you want to run away a little bit, but the whole point is to get caught eventually, right? But not eventually to the point where it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, you running away. It's like, all right, okay. All right, you're not trying to get caught. Okay, cool. I'll chase after somebody else and they'll get caught. And I'll do some running. So then now you Capricorns, you have the, to clarify, for the Ace of Cups, you have the Queen of Cups, the Sun, and the Queen of Pentacles. This just gives you another layer or another form of depth to you and your character, because it shows that you Capricorns are not just stone cold, hardened individuals, that a lot of you actually do want love, and that you Capricorns now know more than ever, Queen of Cups, the Sun card, Queen of Pentacles, that there's nothing wrong with wanting to have finances as well as love. That's just, to be honest with y'all, that's called adulthood. You know, there's nothing abnormal about that. The problem that a lot of people tend to have is they prioritize finances and social status so much that they end up compromising their character. Because what they're supposed to be doing is they're supposed to balance their work life and their responsibilities with their family life and the person that they are in love with and in a relationship with, along with their children and everything. So a lot of people don't know how to walk and chew bubblegum. They don't know how to do two things at the same time.